Where I am now is in the Garden Tomb. This is an alternative location to where Christ would have been crucified. The Holy Sepulchre was from the 4th century, and this was found in the 1980s by a German archaeologist. And the reason that this is an alternative place is that directly where I'm looking at is a place that looked like the skull back when he had found it. You can see the two eye sockets. The mouth at this point is under the ground, and then the eroding nose in between. So that's one reason. Second reason is because it is outside the city wall. And if you look over here, the city wall is right here. You see that? Now this wall is actually a rebuilt wall, but it is rebuilt over the wall that had existed. And the gate, which you can't see because there's stuff here, is the Damascus Gate. And that Damascus Gate would have led up to a highway leading up to Damascus, and that would have been the patriarchal or watershed highway. So the crucifixion would have occurred on general highways made in public, and so everyone could see it. It would have been made outside the city walls, and the place of the skull, because it had looked like a skull back when it was actually there, would have been here. The other reason why they think that this is a location is because back before people were crucified on this hill, this would have been a traditional place where people would have been taken out of the city and stoned to death. So it was already being used for stoning people and for capital punishment. And so the Romans would have used that as well, a location that was already being used for that same purpose, and they would have crucified people here. And you can see it's a hill, it's outside the gate, it's on the major highways, and it's outside the city wall. So it fits the description for an alternative location for the crucifixion. So I am currently at the Garden Tomb, and this is the thought of place where Christ was buried after the crucifixion. The actual crucifixion would have occurred through the trees over there, not too far away. And over in this direction is a wine press that shows that there was a garden in this area. And as I walk over this area, this is the wine press, and or the grape press that would have made wines. And there would have been straw in the area, and the straw would have been put down first, and the grapes squished, and then the juice would have run out into this area, collected, and then turned into wine. And so what this shows is that this area was purchased by or belonged to a wealthy person, and so this whole area would have been part of his land. And so it's speculated that this could have belonged to Joseph of Arimathea. Now you can't see this, but in that lower part of area right here would have been the area of where the stone would have rolled across. It would have been a rolling stone, which was not found when this was excavated. The stone area here was rebuilt in here because there's a hole in this area, and this tomb was made into a Byzantine church. So it was actually preserved in memory of the resurrection by that church, but it was destroyed about the time of the Crusades. And so what's left over is this aspect of the cave that would have been a new tomb for Christ, which was prophesied in Isaiah. Inside the tomb is also a cross that has an anchor below it, and in Hebrews 6 it says that Christ is the hope and the anchor of our salvation, and that's the symbol in respect to that. So anyway, this is the alternative place of Christ's burial tomb. So where I am right now is inside the tomb, and this is a cross here, which is actually not the original. It is a reproduction of the original, but you can see what it would have looked like. The anchor, the cross, the symbols stand for Jesus Christ, and where he would have been laid when his body actually was decomposing. It would have been here, and then it would have been moved into this area. So, and we have here on the door he is not here, for he's risen. Awesome. And as I come out, here you can see the whole area